Um, Tonight I I saw my father, and it didn't really faze me. So I've I've come a long ways, um, farther than I think I have. Um, so I have to give myself more credit, um, for sure. But that's all I want to say is I got tested tonight, and I believe I passed the test. Um, so uh, I am stronger than I thought, and I've come a lot farther than I thought than I think I have. So, um, but I guess that's all I wanted to say. Um, there's not much to say. It's just you just feel nothingness. You know, the same way they felt about me, I feel about them now. So it's just like a mutual kind of, they feel nothing, I feel nothing, but I don't totally feel nothing for myself or certain people. So there's still a little more life in me than in them at this moment. So anyways, not that it's a comparison or competition or anything, but because it's not. um, it's a it's a very long healing road, a lot longer than I thought it'd be, but oh well. I keep trying, and I keep going. So, anyways, and that's all you can really do is keep trying and keep taking it one day at a time. Uh, so that's what I've been doing. Um, but I just I just have to keep trusting that the universe or God or whatever you want to call it really does have my back, and so far I think it has. But I think it always had my back, but I just didn't realize it. Like I couldn't. I was so much around the battlefield for so long. I was so much around it for so long. I couldn't really see the hand of God helping me at all because I was in the battlefield for so long. I was around these entities for so long that it was hard for me to even notice that God was helping me, if he even was. It was very hard for me to notice. These days it's a little bit easier and obvious for me to notice God helping me. But while I was in the thick of it, while I was around them growing up, it was very hard to see or realize if that God was helping me. So, that's always why I had a kind of a grudge or a vendetta with God, because it appeared, because of the perception, management of the family messing with my perception, because that's what they do. They mess with your perception, and they make it seem like no one's on your side, everyone's against you, and they do this very well. And you really do think that. They do it so well that I thought that God, even God himself, was against me. That's how well they did it. So it's been a long struggle, even now, to help me realize that, okay, maybe God really is not against me as much as I thought growing up. You know what I mean? It's taken long time, years and years and years of like obvious God helping me to help me even see that he's helping me, because that's how well the family did a number on me, and I think a lot of scapegoat children are the same. You just they don't feel like anyone's on their side. They don't even feel like if they talk to a professional that they would be believed growing up, which is how I felt. Uh, you know, exposing your whole family and even the religion itself is pretty heavy for a kid. It's even heavy for an adult kid like me, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm still working on with overcoming that fear, and every day I'm just countering that fear, that, faith every day that I'll be all right. God will have my back. Just, like every fucking day. Um, so anyways, uh, that's all I want to say is just like, it was a good test for me tonight. I figured I'd, I'd come across it. I call it it now. It may have had that title of father, but it doesn't deserve the title of father anymore. So it's just it. And a lot of survivors and scapegoat survivors call it as well. So, which makes sense, just dehumanize it, just like they try to dehumanize me and tried to bury me and try to destroy me. Just dehumanize them, just as they try to dehumanize me. So, and I know a lot of other survivors have done this. They've mastered this. They don't see them as humans, and they mastered this. Some survivors have, and I'm getting to that point of just, they have a body, big deal. They have a physical body, big deal, but they're not human. So, and it takes a while to get to that level of discernment, to just see them as a nothing, even though you can physically see them, but you just see them as a nothing, just like they saw you, or they didn't see you as a human the whole time. They didn't see you as a human the whole time. That's heavy. That's heavy even for me. That they never saw me as a real human the entire time, and it's something I got to work through, um, because it's hard to comprehend that the only one that felt anything for the other the entire time was me. I was the only one that felt for another the whole time. Like, I cared about my parents, but they didn't care about me. You know what I mean? That's heavy, you know, uh, the whole time, you know what I mean? So, like, coming to grips with that, it's just like the only person that had any caring at all inside their heart was me the whole time. Until eventually I became numb. But growing up, I did have a heart, as a kid, I did really have a heart, before it kind of got crushed, and, but anyways, that's all I want to say is just like, I got remotivated tonight. I'm doing good, so what if I lack life skills, I can learn. I can keep learning, the things I was never taught, I can keep learning, even if it's slow, even if it takes a long time, even though I'm at the age I am now, and like, doesn't matter. I can learn. I can reparent myself. I can keep loving myself. I can keep being there for myself. No matter what, despite what anybody else does in this world. And that's the key, is loving yourself despite what anybody else does in this world. That is the key, I think. That is the key. Not an easy task, but I think that's the key, is loving yourself no matter what anybody does. ever on the planet is the key to real peace and real happiness eventually. So but anyways, I just felt like making a video just to kind of remotivate myself, because I get discouraged a lot, and yeah, I get depressed a lot, and I'm taking all the right stuff for depression. I'm talking to counselor on the phone, every now and then, to help me work through stuff as well. I'm taking supplements. I'm taking care of my responsibilities, and I'm trying to keep it up, and not get too overwhelmed, just because I'm in unknown territory, being a scapegoat child out in the wild, former scapegoat child out in the wild. It's scary for the scapegoat to go out in the wild, especially when there's more of these entities in the wild, and I know that there's more entities like them that I grew up around in the wild out here. That's what makes it even more difficult as the scapegoat child, is knowing that there's more of them out. If it would be one thing if I knew that there was none of them outside of my family of origin, but since I know that they're outside of my family of origin, I mean, it's rough, like navigating, and you're just like, fuck. You get discouraged. You're like, damn, they're even outside the family unit, If I go to this place where people gather, they'll probably be there like they were before. If they're at this place where people gather, they'll probably be there before. And it's true. Like, tonight I learned, like, I went to a place where they gathered, and I figured that my father would be there because it was his kind of a thing to go to. But I was invited by a friend, and I needed a break, because I've been working a fuckload like I always do, to keep up with my bills, because Lord knows I struggle to keep up and keep pace, just with basic bills. Like, just basic bills, I struggle to keep up with basic bills. And I hate to admit that, but I'm admitting it. I struggle just to keep up with basic bills. Ugh. But it's a learning process, Um, I've been doing a lot of catch up work these last few weeks. Working heavy hours, a lot of hours. I'm not calling it a night until I make at least $100 a day. I'm not calling it a night unless that's the kind of regimen I've been on. That kind of a regimen, just like, I'm not calling it a day unless I make $100 at least a day. So I can catch up, pay people back, try to pay friends back that have helped me in the past, uh, that kind of thing. So I hate borrowing. I hate having to ask friends to borrow money from, and I only do it in the worst of the worst case scenario. If I think I'm gonna end up homeless, then that's when I panic. When the threat of homelessness is there, that's when I ask for help, from friends, good friends, like, friends that have been tested and tried by myself, through a long period of time. So those are the only people I will even trust ever to ask for help from. Um, and I hope they trust me in the future too, because hopefully I pay it back in other ways, and you know, but um, but I should know that money isn't everything. I should know that. But but I do have that homelessness fear. I really do. But it's gotten better. But um, yeah, it's gotten a little better as the more I keep going on this road. But anyways, I just want to give a shout out to the friends that have helped me on this road, and my friend from the Narc University channel, Jody. Give a shout out to her again. The only person that has donated to my channel, but I appreciate the help for sure. Because sometimes I do feel like I'm alone out here, out in the wild, and if I make a mistake, then I'm screwed. I don't have that feeling of, oh, I have backup all the time. I don't have that full confidence that I have backup all the time. But the universe is trying to make me believe, or get me to believe, that I do have the backup all the time that I think that I don't have. you know because I have felt alone for most of my life. I have felt alone in this world, and I know a lot of other starseeds have felt alone as well. Um, it's it's lonely as hell for a starseed on this planet. One, you don't fit into any group. I don't care what group, unless you like run into a starseed every now and then. You feel like, oh, I understand you. Okay, I met you before in a different universe. You make sense to me. Unless that happens. But like, as far as like groups go, like organizations and stuff, you won't fit into most organizations. Starseeds won't fit into most organizations, and it's very disheartening to not fit in with any group, organization on the planet. No religion you fit in. No work group you'll fit in. You know what I'm saying? You won't feel like you fit in a work group. Not really. You may feel okay around them, but you really won't resonate or truly get each other. That's what I'm getting at. Like, any group you're in, you won't get each other. You won't get them. They won't get you. They definitely won't get you. And that's one of the biggest things that depresses me, is not a lot of people get me. Hell, even I barely get me. That's why I always think there's something wrong with me. I'm like, I'm fucking different from everybody I fucking talk to. And I don't know how to change this. I don't know how to fix this. And it's just like, it's probably one of those unfixable things. I'm just fucking different from everybody, no matter what the fuck I do. And I've tried to change to fit in, through my life, try to fit. I can never fit in. Never. Never. Not to any group for a long period of time. Not even at school. I kind of felt I couldn't even fit in at school. I hung out with the people that were kind of the freaks, the rejects. I hung out with the rejects of, well, everybody else believed them to be losers and rejects. I hung out with them in school because they were the funniest. They were the most accepting, they were the most awesome friends I ever had, were the people that thought they were just losers, But I didn't see them as losers. I thought they were pretty awesome. But anyways, that's all I want to say for this video. It's getting cold here, and I do struggle every time. Every time it gets cold, I struggle. So I got this this light that helps counter the when it becomes winter. I have this light that helps counter the SADS, I guess you'd call it, seasonal depression, But so I have that I busted out. So, but anyways, little too much info, I know. I'm learning better to be more private. I'm learning better. So, and other survivors have taught me this. The value of holding your privacy, keeping your privacy. Other survivors have taught me this because I was never taught this. I was taught no boundaries, no privacy, ever. Like, I was taught that I should be monitored 100% of the time. I was taught this, like I should never be out of a narcissist site or a narcissist organization site, like their visibility, So other survivors have taught me this, that privacy is very important, and and most of these entities don't respect your privacy at all, unless you fight for it, unless you hold the boundaries, unless you hold it solid. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm learning. It just sucks that I have to make all the changes, but the entities I was around, they're allowed to be them damn selves, no matter what. They don't have to change a damn thing. That pisses me off, but fuck them. It just means I gotta try harder, and not get too discouraged, and not compare, and not obsess. And I need to get better with the obsessing, and I'm trying to figure out what I can do for the obsessing to help me not obsess about things or the past, or just to help me not do that, and I do take a medication that should help me with that, but obviously it's not good enough. Obviously I still need to find something else for the obsessive thinking, so I'm going to look into maybe theta healing again, round 2 of theta healing, more focused on the obsessiveness, the obsessive thinking, and that kind of thing. And but anyways, tonight was a real big test for me, that's for damn sure. But I think I passed with flying colors. I'm a lot stronger, and it's true, I am a lot stronger now than previous years. I'm a lot stronger than previous years, mentally stronger. Not as easily to push around, not as easily to make afraid as before, So tonight was a good test, and the universe tested me, and I think I did all right. So anyways, and that's all I want to say, I guess, for this video. a lot of things happened today, and to show me that I'm not alone and I have backup, I have strength, and I'm not I'm not a pushover quite like I was before. I'm not a pushover quite like I was. So, anyways, that's enough for this video, I think. Appreciate the support on the channel. It does help to get the emotional support, you know, because that's what was really missing, was the emotional support, you know. I'm just going to be point blank, the emotional support, because if you're anything like me and my upbringing, you didn't get any nurturing the entire time. You got zero nurturing the entire damn time. That leaves a huge hole. A huge hole. And in many areas of life, it messes you up. If you get no nurturing, no love for most of your life, you know what I'm saying? That leaves a huge hole. And I think that's why I've gravitated towards certain coping mechanisms, coping things, that weren't healthy. That's why I gravitated towards certain things to find some kind of nurturing of some kind, because I wasn't getting it from my parents. I wasn't getting any nurturing from my parents, so I was looking at it in other areas, that weren't them, So, and I've almost I've almost called to do cuddle therapy. I haven't done a professional cuddler yet, but I have a brochure for a professional cuddler for cuddle therapy, Who would have thought that would be something that would be the answer to a lot of stuff? Cuddling. Just cuddling, Human touch, that's it. Because you were so depraved of it. You were so depraved of love for so long that you need a professional cuddler. Anyways, that's a little too personal stuff, I guess. Too much info, but that's for the video gods to decide. The video tuber, the gods of YouTube to decide what to do with this information. I'm just putting it out there for coaching myself or helping myself, seeing my progress, because I have made progress. I really have, and I can say that I have made progress. So that's kind of a benchmark night tonight to make a video just to show me that I really have made progress. So, and I shouldn't get too discouraged, So, and I should keep on keeping on, keep on trying, basically. Because my efforts have not been in vain. They haven't been in vain. Totally like I thought. It's very easy to think you're a hamster on a wheel getting nowhere. It's very easy to think that. And it can discourage you, as it has me, to feel like this hamster on a wheel that hasn't gotten anywhere. So it's important to make these benchmark kind of videos to help me realize that I have gotten somewhere. My efforts, I have made progress. I have made strides. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't all been in vain and for nothing. You know what I mean? So, it hasn't been for nothing. So, even though I don't have the happy life or, the beautiful wife and kids and stuff and all of that and everything a man would want by my age, even though I don't have that, it's okay. Maybe it's a good thing, I don't want to marry another one of those entities. So I'm going to take my damn time, I'm going to pace myself. You know what I'm saying? If I'm alone forever, I'm alone forever. Fuck it, If I can be if I can be alone for this long, that says something. Even though I do struggle with loneliness more than anything really, is the loneliness. Um I think that even trumps depression is the loneliness. Just that loneliness, that you just feel like you're alone on this planet, Um, a true loner um, is if I can last this long, maybe that's an advantage. Maybe I can last forever, and because if you don't need another person to survive or another human to survive, um, well, everybody needs support, and everybody needs that real support, even me. But if you can survive without the support, and without another human to be around to, you know what I mean? If you can pull that off, that's pretty impressive, Some survivors can fucking do it. Just fucking be alone forever, you know? And I like my alone time, but being alone forever, I'm not there yet, you know what I mean? Um, I do need the support, the emotional support of people that really care, like the building me up, I really do need that real building up people, the builder type people, um, the empath type people, the builders, that lift people up, that kind of real support. I do need that still. Maybe not to the level I was before when but I still need that. Um, I don't know, builder up type people, because I think every scapegoat needs that person to build them up, to help them build themselves up, because they were not built up. The scapegoat was not built up at all. Has no, the self-esteem is a huge struggle for the scapegoat. So they need help building that self-esteem up, that confidence, that, because they were not taught that at all. They weren't taught that. They weren't built up at all. They weren't told nice things at all. That in people, they weren't told nice things that they actually believed. You know what I mean? A lot of the things I was told were just words. Their actions didn't match. You know, I got the words from the entities. You know, the repetitive words, but I also got the venom. And I got their bad behaviors that didn't match their words. I got a lot of their bad behaviors towards me. So just having that person to uplift you, until you can do it yourself is important. I think that uplifting person to say positive things to you, even if you can't say it to yourself yet and believe it. Like I barely still, I barely even believe the things that I say to myself, but I'm just trying to build myself up, even though I don't believe it fully yet, just to kind of get a self-esteem of some kind going, you know, um, but I got a lot of self-hatred, I realized a lot of self-hatred towards myself that I have to work through somehow. So, anyways, I think I said enough for this video. I will talk to you later.